are live on Facebook. We are very fortunate today from the lovely state of Arizona, Scottsdale office, headquarters of our Arizona deal, Mr. Chris Barker. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you.
You like the studio audience, right? They're rambunctious back there, I'm telling you.
I was going to say, wow, I'm impressed. I didn't.
Yeah, you
Quite
need
the
to get your
crowd.
own studio audience. So, Chris, tell us a little. So, people know I was going to say new guy, but you've been here a little while now. You took over, okay, in the Scottsdale office, which is a very unique bunch of very different personalities. I would say. No, they're all
Mm.
dynamite. Very very into their job, very into what's going on, and like your Christmas party was absolutely great Thursday night too. But tell me a little about yourself, how long you've been doing this, all that good stuff, Chris.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it, Rick, and thanks for having me on. First off, it's been a pleasure. The 4 months that I've been here have been a whirlwind. As you can imagine, anytime you're switching to a new position, new brokerage, there's a lot to take in. But I think, truly been blessed with, like you said, amazing agents, not only top producers, but just a very vibrant, fun group that really enjoys what they do. And I think that's where it was kind of a perfect fit in my eyes, as far as when I'm thriving is when, I'm enjoying what I'm doing. We're having fun working hard, right? And that's it's kind of what I feel like our energy is right now. And you're right, there has been some unique challenges in the office from the last few years, but they're a resilient group, and I think providing some consistency and stability is really all that was needed for us to really hit that next level. And I'm excited about where we're going to go. So as far as me, sorry, I started my real estate career about 10 years ago in Columbia, Maryland, with Remax Realty Group and Remax 100. At the time, was the seventh largest Remax franchise in the country. We had over 750 agents in DC, Maryland, and Virginia, and I was started off on my mom's team. I came from a retail management background. I was a regional marketing manager for Costco and then for Nordstrom as well. And yeah, I was just kind of tired of that daily retail grind, working weekends, holidays, nights. I'm sure, like most people, got into real estate thinking I was going to be sipping martinis, making all this money, all this free time. And I got a rude awakening really quickly. Thankfully, again, having my mom as a mentor and bring me in, I didn't have any delusions of grandeur. I knew how hard she worked to have her success. And sure, that freedom does come, but it comes later after that hard work, right? And if you don't put that time in up front, it's a struggle. It's a hard game. You know as well as I do, Rick. You coach lots of people. It's not an easy business for sure, but it's really been a blessing having that support and having somebody that I know cares about me and that I know had my best interests in mind. And that's how I try to approach leadership. Is I'm looking out for my agent's best interests. I'm always going to try and be honest and transparent, and help them out in any way that I can in this industry, because it is hard and there is so many people trying to do it, and our industry is always changing. So we got to be able to adapt and overcome, and we have to really make it something we're passionate about and have fun while we're doing it. Otherwise, what's the point, right? But after that, about 3 years in, somehow my old broker owner convinced me to get back into management. Our general manager at the time had stepped down, and I'm not quite sure who told him that I had some management background, but for some reason he thought that that would be a good position for me and thought that I was the person for it, and approached me with an offer. And I was able to still sell, which was important to me. And I, you know, didn't mention the part of the main reason that I really wanted to change up what I was doing is I was working 60, 70 hours a week, nights, weekends, holidays, with retail management. And I was missing my kids' lives. I had two young kids at the time that I just felt like I don't want to wait 10 years and have life pass me by. And then they're going to be 13, 14 and not want to hang out with me. I want to be
Yeah.
there for the pickups. I want to be there for, coaching and all the things that, it can just pass by you really quickly if you're not active and present and engaged with it. So, yeah, it's really been a blessing, provided me the ability to do that and gave me an opportunity to learn the backside of the business. And on the broker owner management side, just how tough that part of the game is. I don't think a lot of people realize how hard it is to be on the back end of the business, and the margins aren't that big like people think. Everybody thinks broker owners make all this money, and they're just raking in the cash and watching everybody work for them, and it's just absolutely not the truth. They're some of the hardest working, most I'd say highest integrity people out there are making sure that the lights are staying on, that the bills are paid, and even in those tough months where there's not a lot of income coming in, they're footing those bills a lot of times. So
Yeah.
it's a really good exercise for me, and really taught me a lot about the market and the industry that you don't really get as an agent. But fast forward, sorry, the long-winded answer. In 2020, I decided to move back to Arizona. I was looking for an opportunity out there. There wasn't a Remax franchise that I felt was in alignment with me at the time. So I started looking around and found a really great owner broker in Wendy Patton that was getting ready to take over a Goodyear office with KW out in the West Valley, and they had a huge market center with a big market area that is where I grew up, and from the Phoenix area. So it was a great opportunity for me to, jump right back into what I love most, and that's helping others and leading, through example and leading on that side. And we started with 62 agents in early, I'd say it was June of 2020. So, right in the middle of COVID.
Mm.
Not a lot of people in the
I remember
office. It was
those days.
kind of, yeah, it was a weird time for all of us. It was just a lot of uncertainty, right? So, made the best of it, kept plugging away, and a year later, we were at over 150 agents, and we had a vibrant, thriving market center that was uh, really engaged and locked into what they were trying to do, and gave me an opportunity to jump right back into real estate here in Arizona. I was, again, lucky enough to bring my mom along, and she joined my team this time. And another friend of ours, and started our real estate team here, the Oasis Group in Arizona. And then, managed a couple other KW brokerages before getting this opportunity here. But along the way, I was lucky enough to meet Troy Rearson, and kind of crazy how that happened is I was making a recruiting call, random guy. His name was John Whalen. He was I believe he was with Lake Pleasant Realty, a boutique brokerage up here, high producer, and cold call. He answered the phone, super nice guy. Just immediately felt his energy was really good, and he was nice enough to take my call and listen to me. And he knew what it was about, but he still listened, which I appreciated. And we ended up talking for like 45 minutes. And he said, "You know what? I know a guy who is probably looking for people like you. He's looking for leaders in your area, in your market. And I think you should talk to him because I think you guys would get along. I think, he's somebody that you would be in alignment with." And said, "Sure, absolutely. I'm always open to opportunities. This is a relationship business. It's one of the things I love most about this business is
Mhm.
getting to know people and different, uh, strengths, and people that have different ways of going about this business, because there's more than one way to be successful. There's so many
Mm.
ways, right? But I could tell it was with integrity and with the things that are important to me. And when we met, it clicked immediately. You know how Troy is. He's just one of those guys that instantly makes you feel comfortable and like you guys have been friends forever, right? So, we started to build that relationship. At the time, I wasn't ready to make the move, but I'm a big believer in things happen for a reason. And here we are now. Everything's in alignment. I had the perfect opportunity with this Kierland office, like you said, a great office, flagship of Arizona, where our corporate Arizona headquarters are. And yeah, just couldn't be more happy with where we're at and where things are going.
Yeah. And it's a great office and great a lot of individual personalities, some really good top producers. You've got everything in there too. And I could start naming off names, but you know who I'm talking about. They're all wonderful
Sure.
people, completely productive. They're like a family too, and
100%.
it's a great office. So great job. Yeah. So okay. So
Thanks, Rick.
is I mean, look at so management and leading and so forth seems like it's right up your alley. That's what you're interested in doing. And in real estate, let's face it, in this business, that's not easy to do with the multiple personalities you have in the office. Plus, so your job is to recruit and retain the agents you have, keep them challenged and so forth. And I help with that too, with training and coaching and so forth, and
Yes, sir.
recruiting. It's an interesting job that requires you got to be good at a bunch of different things, right?
Yeah. You gotta wear a lot of hats, sometimes it's a psychologist, sometimes it's, just a ear to listen, and sometimes it's like, "Hey, I need to get on you a little bit," it's time to, give you a little bit of a wake-up call or have some honest conversations that sometimes aren't easy, but you nailed it, man, you know the drill, you've been coaching for a long time. Everybody has something different that makes them click, right? And trying to find what that is and how I can relate and how I can really get to what they're looking for to hit the level of success that they're trying to achieve. And no, it's a fun game that honestly, I'm sure for you too. You've been doing this for a while. Is that it's what keeps me going? Is that it's a challenge, right? It's not easy, but that's what makes it fun.
Yeah, I love it when I help somebody get from where they want to go to where they're going. I call it when they get it. Like I was talking to a woman this morning. She was a nurse for years, got into real estate part time. Now she's full time, and not only is she full time, she put 4 deals together for December, and she's going to rock right into January. She'll probably close over 30, if not close to 40 deals next year. That's rewarding for me, and I know it's rewarding for her because she's doing it. She's doing it
Yeah,
every day. She's getting up early. She's going to the gym. She's making her contacts. She's filling the VAC with people. She's connecting with them on social media. She's doing all the, it's like she does. She's one of those rare people, I would say probably 10% of my schedule, that they ask me, what do I do? And then they do it. Whoa, there's a new one.
amen, amen. Isn't that funny? I remember my first broker always would say, he told me in my interview too, he goes, "Oh, well, how much you trying to make?" And, like most real estate agents, 100,000, right?
Right,
He goes, "Okay, all right, cool." So, well, I can promise you, how about this? I can promise you that you can make 100,000 this year. And at the time in 2015, 16, it was more money then. It was a big deal. I'm like, yeah, 100,000 was, but you got to do exactly what I want you to do. And he said, the problem is why 60 to 70% of agents don't make over $50,000 is because they don't do what I tell them to do. So he
right.
said, that's going to be up to you. And I know the freedom and the flexibility of your work schedule is important to you. But to your point, it's not necessarily about how many hours you work, but how disciplined you are with your time and how you're able to time block and be, consistent. And one of the things Gino talked about when he was just down here was, his meds and getting on a schedule, right? Routine. And that's something that really stuck with me is that, a lot of people get into this industry because of the freedom and flexibility, but it's the very thing that can keep them from success if they're not disciplined. Right. So yeah, no, I love it. It's the, by far the most rewarding thing is to know that you can change somebody's life. And
Mhm.
for me, that's what this industry brings, right? That's the thing that I, I found in real estate that I haven't found in anything else, that you have the ability to create, your own destiny. But it's up to you, and it's not going to be easy.
Right.
So seeing that click for other people and get that financial freedom and have them the light bulb pop off of what's possible in this industry, and that there is no limits. You have the ability to make as much or as little money as you want. So Yeah, no, that's by far the most rewarding thing in this, Rick. I agree with you on that. Is being able to see the impact that you've had and see people live the lives that they want, or that they had always dreamed of. Right. That is truly amazing. That makes our job
Yeah.
very rewarding.
Definitely. And it is a simple business. It's not easy, but it is simple. I mean,
Yeah,
it's simple in that what you need to do to be successful. It's not easy in that very few people actually do it, which is crazy to me. We had a guy, another gentleman I coach who runs a team, and they had a new guy come in, and he had been prospecting on the phone all day, set one appointment. They went on it the next day. They listed it. He's been in the business like 3 days now. Now he's being helped by somebody, his team lead, right? So he says to his team lead, he goes, "Is that it? Is that all I have to do every day? Set an appointment and we go take the listing? This is an easy business." And I'm thinking that's like that shot in golf where you hit the ball 275 yards straight down and it rolls onto the green. It doesn't happen often, but when it does, it feels real good. But it will happen more often if you can continue to be consistent.
that's right. Yeah, that's the
So
name of the game, right?
yeah. So running your own team, being around top producers, helping agents be successful. Give me some of the traits. Like, what would you say? Let's go with the top three. Top three traits you see, including yourself or anybody, of a top, not necessarily a top producer, but somebody that's successful and doing this day in and day out. Doesn't have to be a top producer, but it could be. What do they
Yeah,
do?
love it. So I think you nailed it. I think the consistency. You have to be a consistent person, whether it's with your work ethic, your time blocking, your schedule, or just the product that you're putting out. The service that you're providing to your clients. Are you consistent with that? Do you have processes and systems in place that are going to help keep you consistent? Right. Um, I've seen a lot of talented people not do well in this business because they relied so much on their natural talent.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things, you've seen it probably as well, where you think this person's going to light the world on fire. They just have so much charisma and energy, and like you're like, wow, this person just, they have it. They have the it. And then for whatever reason, it doesn't work out that way. And I think usually that's where the second one is work ethic. I think you have to have a high level of work ethic and drive. What is it that's driving you? What is your why, right? Is
Mhm.
it big enough that's going to drive you to wake up every day at 6 o'clock and work out before you start your lead gen at 8? Is it, big enough for you to go door knocking for 5 hours when it's 110 out in Arizona in the summertime, right? So, those are the two. And then lastly, I think it's really important for, people to, I don't know how to the best word for it in the long run, but really is communication and being able to build relationships, right? I think that's the thing that I've seen is even people that I've seen a few, not a ton, but a few agents that don't work crazy, right? They don't work 80 hours a week. They're not, on the phone all day. They're not killing, but they're really good at relationships and they understand how to connect and bond and build trust with people, and that comes easier for them. That's something that if it doesn't come easy for you, you got to figure out how to do that, right? Because that's really the game. Is when you walk into somebody's house for a listing appointment or a buyer consultation, you have to build that trust pretty quickly. You got an hour, whatever it is, to differentiate yourself and to make them want to use you versus anybody else that they have. And there's a lot of options out there, right? So I don't know, just off the cuff, those are probably the three that I've seen. If you have those three things, I think there's no reason why you shouldn't be successful in this business.
Totally agree. And consistent doesn't mean perfection, like with social
Right.
media. You don't have to be perfect. You just got to be consistent. And you have some agents in your office that are real. Nicole, Jay,
Yeah.
Curtis,
Yes.
Michelle. You got a lot of people in there that are good and consistent with their social media, and some of them could probably turn it up. And then you have other people that are just good on the phone and good with communication. And then you're right.
Yes.
And then you have that select few that can talk to a few people, and they're so good that they not only get to them, they get to their sphere of influence and their family and friends and coworkers, and They're really
Yes.
good at going deep with conversations. And you're absolutely right. It doesn't matter which one you're good at, but you got to do something. I love when people ask me at Success Series, do you believe in the law of attraction? Yeah, I believe in the law of attraction, but it doesn't work if it's not preceded by the law of action. Action and
That's right.
attraction go together.
It's so true. And that's the part that's hard sometimes, right? Is being disciplined enough to do the actions necessary. Because most of those actions aren't the fun part of this business,
Yeah,
right? It's
right.
it's the tasks that people don't love usually. I don't know too many people that I've met on a agent interview that are like, man, I just love cold calling. Man, I just love door knocking. It's those are the things that aren't always the most enjoyable to get hung up on, to get those no's. But guess what? It builds character and it builds skill. You start to learn what works, what doesn't. And like you said, that action is necessary and important.
Yeah. Yeah, I was one of those agents that wasn't really good. I was good at being disciplined and showing up on time and cranking up, but I wasn't good at communicating at first. I had to learn through the personality side.
Interesting.
Yeah. No, really. It was I
I
was
always
one of
just assumed you're a naturally great communicator because you're so good at building bonds. And like, I've been able to watch you from afar, and you just seeing your connection with people, and you seem to get along with everybody. So that's an interesting thing to learn.
and I appreciate that. Thank you. And you seem to be really good at it too. I learned this. I learned when I talk to you, if I make it about you, not me, I'm interesting to you. If I make it about me, I'm just another, real estate agent who will, excuse me, let me tell you about the most important person on the planet, me, right? And people, you repel people being that way. I had to learn. People don't care what you know until they know you care. And even though that's corny saying, it's 100% true.
Yeah, no, nailed it. I couldn't agree more. Something that I think I didn't realize I was doing it, but when somebody like yourself, I had a coach in the past that kind of pointed that out, and I'm like, well, yeah, I guess that is a skill, is listening, right? And he always told me, I think the best salespeople listen more than they talk, and
Yeah,
they're really trying to get into what it is that you need or want or trying to accomplish, instead of trying to your point, show how awesome I am and I'm the best agent in the world and I
yeah.
closed this many deals, where most people just want to know that they can trust you and that you care about them, like you said.
Yeah, be interested in them. Ask a lot of questions about them and where they're going. Think about it. Moving is stressful. Think about the last time you moved, right? And then we go in there and we tell them, "Well, let me tell you about the time." No, no, they want you to dig deep and ask them every question you can possibly think of,
Mhm.
right? And that's why I was talking with one of our great agents, Jody Faulkner, in the Northwest office, and I said to her, I'm just going to say this. That's why I think women naturally make better salespeople than men from that standpoint. Is they're better at creating relationships. They think with more parts of their brain. Right? I learned this all from listening
They're
to books.
smarter than us, is what you're saying, Rick.
They think more what's the word? Empathy. They think more with
Mhm.
empathy than we do. They're better at putting themselves in the other person's shoes. I had to learn that, and I just followed what, when, who, where, why. You follow those open-ended questions, and then you really find out the story. And
Yeah.
so that's absolutely true. All right, Chris, perfect timing. Any final words you want to leave these lovely people, my friend?
No, I appreciate the opportunity to be on here, Rick. I appreciate all the support and help that you've given me since I've been here. You've just like everybody in our organization. I just think that would be my last little tidbit I'd give on here, was that truly feel blessed to be in this organization with the people that we have. To your point about my office and our agents, it's an echo. It's kind of a reflection of our organization as a whole. Is that we just have good, solid people that have great integrity. They're doing things because they care. They're doing things because it's the right thing, not just because it's what makes them successful or the most money, or best for the brokerage. And that's refreshing, because the longer you're in this industry, sometimes it's not always like that. And to be a part of an organization with people that are true and genuine and who really do care, it exudes, and it makes my job easier, and I feel like it makes our jobs easier and more fun. So I'm super excited about the future of not only my office, but our company and where we're going, and industry of real estate in general. So I think the best is yet to come, and I appreciate your time, sir. But hopefully, this is the first of a few, and
Yeah.
I'm excited for doing some more stuff with you, buddy.
Same here, my man, and that's why you fit in so well here too. And here's the other great thing too. In January, we got coming. All the managers coming to Vegas, so
Some,
you'll get to meet all the other managers from California and from Nevada that you haven't physically met yet. So it'll be good. We get together. We have that once a year. It's really good. Set the stage, set the goals, and
yeah.
even though we all know what we're supposed to be doing, it's good to get together and do that. So, well, thank
Well,
you very much.
yeah.
We'll do this again in the near future. I want to wish you and your family Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, Happy whatever you celebrate, my man.
All the things. Yeah. You too. Take care, buddy.
All right,
Appreciate
buddy.
you.
Thank you. Bye, everybody. Thanks, Paul.
See you guys. Thank you. Thank you, Paul.
All right.